Good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday. Welcome to Embody Your True Essence with me, Ikue. It's Wednesday, August 28th. Today is a step 5. It's a Gemini. Lots of mind into we'll think about a lot of things, process, and then we find a balance type of day. Step 5 to step 2. Step 5 to step 6. How you guys feeling? Good morning. It's 9 a.m. PST in Vancouver, and it's nice out, but it's cold. I'm very jealous of people who live in the warmer area. I wish the summer is a bit longer, but I am keeping my spirit up. This is the sky. It's beautiful. Yeah. I went to the beach yesterday. It was so windy, but it's beautiful. Grand Rising, Michelle. It was so windy, but it was nice to get under the sun, and I kind of just calmed my mind, and I really need it. I am fully aware that, I often talk about my karmic patterns, probably the end of, probably like from Lionsgate, like in August 8th, and then into Virgo season and into Libra, like lots of, I think comic patterns of like basically holding a lot of fear over many things are coming up. So I'm definitely processing that, but I'm also like, I'm noticing, this is something that I really noticed yesterday. My mind likes to talk me out of my heart. It's real. Grand Rising, Emin, highly. Do you guys ever catch yourself like when your mind is in like basically rushing in fear, and then just try to create the story? Because when my mind is like in panic, if you guys watch Inside Out, like it's a Disney Pixar movie, there's a moment that Inside Out is about what's going on in Riley's head. There are like 5 basic emotions, and then Inside Out 2, they add, I think, 4 new emotions like joy, sadness, fear, disgust, anger, into envy, embarrassment, anxiety, and then and nostalgia. I think I missed something else, but yeah, love the print of your jacket. 6 p.m. here in South Africa. Oh, yes, because this is African design. I love Afrobeats and I love African design. Like anything that is super colorful. Every time I find I also like decided to collect some of that African pattern. I love it. And I get it. Yes, it's a colorful, part of me being Japanese, but I love joy. Like I fully love salsa dancing, a Latin passionate culture, but also like African, really colorful. And when you look at Japanese, there are Japanese people are very creative, but also there's part of our culture that is like wabi-sabi, like super minimalism, into when you look at like kawaii culture, and it's super colorful and it's different. But I normally like to go, I don't know, I feel comfortable with going eccentric with color. I got an email today that my copyright is official starting September 17, 12 years in the making. My copyright, what are you copywriting for, Michelle? Are you a writer? That's awesome though. Let me know more. Stunning, really suit you. Remind me of Japanese print too. Yeah, yes, yeah, all your colors, right? Yeah, yeah, it makes me happy. It's not about look at me, but it's just like, wow, just embracing how weird I am, how unique I am, right? Yeah. I shared this before, but there was a time in my junior high school days in Japan. I did a speech in front of the entire school. This was it's almost like a presidential speech in the student committee in my own school, and everybody had their speech on a written note. And then it's basically convincing all the students why they have to choose me. And then I basically said, I think schools' uniforms are boring and it dims that personal colors. And so, and then it's like, why school does have to, you know, restrict students to wear what they want to wear? Because in elementary school, people are able to wear anything they want, you know? So when you pick me, I will do something about it. What a bold move that I did. And, anyways, and I got selected, and so I became part of the student committee. And the funny thing is, I got bullied by someone, like anonymous, like my stuff that I submitted as art got vandalized, and that really shrunk my soul. Like at the time, like I cried, and it's like wow. And my takeaway at the time was, wow, when I stood up, this is what happened. So I tried to keep it low as possible all my like teenage years. I don't want to like stand out, but part of me loved to stand out. So finding the way that it's safe for me to stand out somehow. So that has been my pattern and the journey, but I also feel like that's the pattern that I needed to experience for me to get to basically where I am. Because as I'm digging through my past life, you know, going through some Serious Joy 40 Days or program, I did have that pattern, probably life after lifetime, like maybe try to stand up and I go smash and bully or even martyr. So, but good thing is that this is what I'm came here for. So I don't repeat the same pattern. I'm here to do everything I can in my own power to flip that narrative. I copyrighted the number A5 for business that is about unity. 85% of people agree 85% of the time. It's a reminder to focus on cooperation versus division. Very interesting. I didn't know that you can copyright A5. I know, you know, like Kylie tried to copyright, like patent her name, Kylie. And then I know Kylie in Australia, Kylie Minogue, she has been an artist and she has been up there way before Kylie, probably before Kylie Jenner was born. So it's funny how, you know, people do stuff like that. But I didn't know that you can like copyright A5. I read the book a long time ago that, you know, you like, because I think everyone is so programmed to be perfect, especially if you're coming from that type of culture, to be perfect and precise. And I read this book and how to study. And what he said was, if you understand 80%, move on. If you get 80% and the rest of 20%, you can come back, and maybe it's if you are ready to understand that rest of the 20%, it will come in the future. If you caught up with trying to get the 100%, you'll never be able to move on. So entire high school, I think I was introduced this book and then became bestseller in Japan at the time. And I think it's a super learning method or something in that direct translation. And so yeah, I think I have that the motto in somewhere in me that it's like if I understand 80%, I can move on. Or even if I forget, I just like, okay, I took this dance class, it was way too hard, and I tried to get it perfectly, but tell myself, if I get 80%, I'm good. Right? But Michelle likes the number 85. Yes. We all have our favorite number, right? What's your favorite number, everybody? I like, growing up, my favorite number was 7. I think I was programmed that lucky 7 is a good number because of, you know, in Japan we don't really have casino, but we have this entertainment house for adults called pachinko. And pachinko is kind of like a slot machine. There is a slot machine too, but it's basically the place where it's like a game place where you just like, yeah, gamble, and you can basically make money. It's not just play music. It's not just like play games, and it's just everywhere. Like casino is huge, but pachinko can be huge too, and it's like really loud, but it's just like so many mid-sized casinos all over the city in Japan, and people just like old people or people who are just like does have a lot of you know pastime, and they will go and they will play. I never really been there, like it was never my thing, but yes. And then I think when they play, they talk about lucky seven. So yeah, my home number is 7. So I always thought the 7 is my number. 7 and 13. Yeah, okay, I can relate to that. Number 4, that's interesting. You know what? I don't know, 90 nans. In Asian culture like Japan and Chinese, 4 and 9 are considered uh, unlucky number, and because 4 4 also we pronounce as she, and she is the same words, same pronunciation as death. So 4 is considered death. And then also 9, people avoid the number 9 because 9 means the same same pronunciation as ku, and ku means suffering. So yeah, I mean, I think it's same thing with Chinese too, but Japanese, 4 and 9 are the numbers that people want to avoid. And I know 13 is the number for Westerns, right? It's funny how you go to different buildings and you see like the numbers in the elevator, and you see some skipping numbers. So that's really funny. Yeah. I think it's when you talk about from a numerology perspective, I think numbers are very important, and it's like when you started to align yourself with your life purpose, and obviously I think it's those things are started to line up for you, and yeah. Or I heard that sometimes you just specifically wake up, like, okay, I want to wake up at 11:11. You just put it in the timer, so you work to align yourself to numbers. Yeah, nice to know. Yeah, that's very interesting. But all those numbers are mean something, and it means different. There's no good or bad, right? Yeah. So, but when it comes to the numbers, I'd like to mention one more thing, and then we'll move on. My apartment is called 999 Seymour, and it's 999. And that's the address. And it's a really transformative. It sounds like it means death and reborn, right? So I wasn't really fully aware when we picked this apartment, but 999. I often think about it now because I've been challenged. I've been challenged, to say the least. And every time I've been challenged and I learned a lesson, and I go to the next level, right? So there's like a constant transformative energy all around in this apartment. There's nothing about staying the same. I mean, it's really changes constant, right? I think it's a matter of accepting that truth and flow with it, right with it. So yeah, thank you guys for typing and letting know your favorite number. Okay, so today's energy, we're going to step 5 to step 6. So Gemini in the head, into finding the balance, my sign Libra. And so I think it's the beginning, we were probably in our head a little bit, and because of all the processing happening here, we were able to find some inner peace. That's our goal, inner peace. Now, praise the universe. Clarity is here. Step 5, I think, is a ruling state of awareness. The mind is grappling with a new mental approach to yourself. In other words, How do you address yourself on the inside in a way that lifts you up in every moment? Venus opposes Neptune, opening to a shift in lifestyle solutions and goals that you feel greater faith in than others. You feel greater faith. You may be contemplating the risk. Respond and work with your own feelings to ensure your soul feels good about it. Very interesting. So let's read a little bit further to explore. So, let's go back. Today, zodiac time. I love going through this to understand more about me every day. So today, step 5, I think, is a ruling state of awareness. Your mind will occupy your awareness more than the other states of awareness today. Yeah, well, that's about the Gemini 5 type of energy. Given the combination of thinking and that in-depth analysis of I become Virgo. So mind meets body. And you could find yourself going down rabbit holes of questions looking for answers. This unique combination of awareness can cause a person to obsess on the topic for too long or burn out. The best way to balance your thinking is through physical exercise. If your mind is jumping off the rails, a 30 minutes walk, yoga, breathwork, or any cardio fitness will reboot your nervous system and ground your thoughts. Physical movement balances the nervous system. In your narrative, today you are exploring what your thinking has become over the last year. So this is important, what your thinking has become, because thinking is a Gemini and become is a Virgo energy. So we're in this Virgo season where today is about really assessing, okay, it's a tug of war between our mind and the heart too, and the feeling, right? I catch myself, I was just like thinking about yesterday that how come my mind is so obsessed over a lot of things, and why am I like this? But I'm also, because I'm aware, how can I change this obsessive thought about things? Can I just be relaxed more? Or I find myself, my mind is trying to tell me something so negative that try to almost force me to make some decision because my mind wants to seek relief. But that doesn't mean that that's very positive. You know, it's just more like the go-to pattern is like, I just want to like escape from this, escape. But I also feel like every time I feel like I want to escape from something, that's when I need to really sit with that emotion, sit with the mind, right? Sometimes surrender. It's just like let it go and just go outside and be with nature, journal, right? So in particular, how you think about yourself is of utmost importance. Your thoughts, attitude, and internal dialogue continually program the psyche. Your internal propaganda not only narrates your story to yourself with perception, interpretation, and judgment. It also reinforces what you believe, which in return shapes who you become. So obviously what you believe, hi Lisa, what you believe is what you become, right? And so what you believe is so important. But even though your heart believes in one thing, but your mind tells me something else, and obviously there's a lot of tug of war. And sometimes that war is so loud. Yes. Throughout today, you will notice the language you use with yourself. Observe if the language is constructive to your well-being or destructive to your being. Do your thoughts reinforce negative feelings, or do they talk you into positive feelings? So yesterday, early in the morning, it was all negative. My mind just wanted to curl into this like really miserable yet comfortable spot that I'm used to. Like, no one loves me, I'm unlovable. But it's like part of me, it's like I'm changing. So it's like, no, that's not true for you. Okay, I'm just gonna like, it's so hard to flip this narrative right now. So I'm just gonna chant, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. Do you guys ever have that? So inner peace is real, you know. All you need is inner peace sometimes, because there's a war happening inside your head. And what you have to do is to calm yourself down, but sometimes you can't, and then you just have to, I love myself, I love myself, maybe curl yourself into fetal position, and you just have to breathe and journal and breath work. Yeah, very relatable. Yesterday was intense. Yeah, thank you for the message. Yeah, comment. It was intense. Yeah. So what I did yesterday was I rented a bicycle and then bike around like the seawall in Sunny Park. We have like a really nice cycling line, and I stopped at the beach. It sounds really amazing, but it was cold, but it's beautiful. And then I took some time. I felt really, in the beginning of the day, I felt my inner peace was not there at all. And I was blaming on somebody and blaming on people, and as judging other people, and in return I was judging myself for judging them. Right, all these patterns in loop, and I was so angry, and wanted to just like, okay, what is this pattern, what is this pattern? I just had to disconnect. It's not to disconnect from myself, it's just that disconnect myself from that situation and contemplate. So your mind will also change today about how you see or label yourself. You may realize that the approach your mind takes day to day is assuming the worst. Yeah, I 100%. Like I know, yeah, so my mind, like your mind, our mind, likes to assume the worst. Or you may have adopted an attitude from your parents, such as being seen as a klutz. Yeah, attitude from your parents. I think that's huge. I think it's in culturally, this is how I was raised and programmed. Not that I'm blaming my parents. It's just like the patterns, right? There's no right or wrong. They did not know. My dad technically said to me, Japan, it doesn't have any natural resources, so the only way for us to, survive is to use our mind and work hard, because you can't beat that. And sadly, we weren't born in Saudi Arabia or somewhere there's abundant oil. So Japanese don't have natural resources. First of all, we need to work hard. Okay, that's a good quality, but also negative quality. But also on the bottom, I think there's so much respect and honor to nature, which is beautiful. That's ingrained in our culture. At the same time, there's this honor and respect, but also there's a lot of threat and scarcity. Not scarcity, it's fear around, your stuff being taken away in a moment. If you live in a place like where there's lots of natural disasters like earthquakes and like mostly earthquakes, and that also, and then the fire will happen. You just learn to respect the nature and show some respect, but also underneath you fear of those things. And I think it's natural. And what I was taught was, I think the attitude that I had since childhood was just, you have to be worried and concerned about what was going to happen. So you over prepare yourself, and so that you don't have to worry. And I think there's wisdom in that. But I think what I needed to learn was you can prepare yourself, even like in this modern times. I think some people have like collected like bunch of water bottles just in case something happens and you can't access water. And then that's kind of like the standard protocol for emergency. And then maybe like canned food, but like, is about the balance, right? Like if you're just listening here, then you probably buy excessive amounts of canned food or water, so that is like takes up so much space in your apartment. Is that even worth it? You know, I'm just like, I'm not saying that you don't have to, but at the same time, I think it's like trusting the path, and you're gonna be okay. So again, it's about the inner peace, right? Um, so, in each of your stories today, uncover the attitude and point of view your mind takes with yourself, examining how it continues to your day-to-day reality. Your mind is analyzing your fears and karmic patterns that keep you repeating the same mistakes. Mhm. You're identifying a new way to think about fear and mentally identify greater faith. Make sure your heart believes in this new perspective and that it resonates as true to you. So faith versus mind, right? Because every time my mind started to go in Russian fight or flight, and fear, and tried to seek for immediate release, temporarily release, because at the moment, temporarily relief looks more shiny than anything else. So my mind is that moment, then it's like seeking for the relief, that not really thinking about the consequences afterwards, and then it's just like going like this, and that's when my faith is questioned. I work so hard to work on my faith in myself, faith in the universe or God, whatever you believe, and it's just shaken up so easily. But I am learning that, okay, this is good. This is okay. I accept, I acknowledge you, my mind. You are important to me. You have space for me. But we need to find a balance when to engage them, or we engage with them, but also learn to calm down that part of ourselves, because we are programmed to fear and be in fight or flight. Good things that the earth is changing. We don't have to live in that frequency anymore, but we have that pattern, subconscious pattern that's stored in this. We are supposed to fear about lack of financial resources. We're supposed to be worried about things, and little things, like little subtle moment that we're just fearing about, right? So when you catch yourself, ask if it's true. If that's something that you want to believe, I think it's stuff from there. Like yesterday, I had this really fearful thought, and my mind really wanted to take that action according to that fear. And then every time I say something that against my heart shrinks like this. That's when I know it's not true for me. That's when I know I shouldn't take that action. And your mind is analyzing your fears. Okay. Uncover the attitude and point of view your mind takes with yourself, examining how it contributes to your day-to-day reality. Your mind is analyzing your fears and karmic patterns that keep you repeating the same mistakes. You're identifying a new way to think about fear and mentally identifying greater faith. Make sure your heart believes in this new perspective and it resonates. Oh yeah, I read it. I totally read it. I feel like I'm just shifting timelines. Okay, next one. You will come to understand how your thinking taxes self-confidence in the long run. Open your mind to a different way of thinking about your value. Come up with a theory about what you're worth in the long term. It's all about the self-worth. Your goal today is to uncover your pattern of thinking with yourself. Connect how you think with who you have become. Yeah, all the patterns. My pattern versus my heart versus my mind and versus my faith, right? Do your best to identify the point of view your mind takes with yourself and how it contributes to who you become in the moment. This point of view is often coming from a prejudgment of yourself. Yeah, definitely. If you think of yourself as stupid, for instance, then your attitude may always question what you are thinking or saying. it is this unique point of view that you seek to shift today. I'm going to read the last sentence again. This point of view is often coming from a prejudgment of yourself. If you think of yourself as stupid, for example, for instance, then your attitude may always question what you're thinking or saying, questioning what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's a huge part. It is this unique point of view that you seek to shift today. That's powerful. So it's a very powerful day. Brilliant discoveries ahead. My thought makes my reality. So what do you think about yourself? Consciously, I like to think I love myself. I'm lovable. I am smart. I am wise. I like to think I love myself. And now, what do your subconscious have to tell tell about yourself? And that is really that power, right? The shadow side, shadow aspect of ourselves. Think about the time that your parents judge you, and then when you tap into that, there's a stuff that, tap into that, when you literally tap into that, and it's like all the dust comes up, right? And it's like, oh, at the time I did not feel value. At the time I felt this, felt that. And it just like, especially the patterns are taken from the parents. I'm noticing that I always knew about this, but like our parents were the fundamental, fundamental and that foundation that we were attached to. We were attached to. So, and based on that core belief, we attracted all those events in our childhood and to teenage years to early adulthood, right? So this is the secret. I recently got to release some of the patterns that taken from my mother. Every time I do something different, or I am pushing forward, moving forward with my career, there's part of me that, okay, what are you doing? You're supposed to fear of being seen or being judged. And every time I'm not acknowledged those feelings, it tightens my body. And that's something that I learned for the last 1 year. And I did not know about this pattern until I sat down and I've been told a couple people, and fear caught me. And fear, I welcome fear because I'm learning to embrace all parts of myself. But fear is an interesting one. Why do you fear? Why do we fear that something bad's gonna happen? Like earthquakes, natural disasters. Do you think that if you listen to your heart and you connect it with the source, universe, do you think maybe you're gonna be at the safe spot at the right time? Right? We all picking our experience based on our frequency, and what we think about everything is frequency. So, right, like people talk about, what's that, like right time, right place, or bad time, bad place, right? But overall, definitely things are going crazy, a little bit crazier. So yeah, even like a shooting happening, I don't really check news, but I hear from people or just come across some news about, oh, there was a shooting happened. Someone got shot 2 blocks away from my place. Like I live center of downtown, and it's like, oh, that's very close. But I'm glad that I was not at that bad time, bad place. And instead of fearing and try to over prepare of what would happen, you do some minimum. You don't have to micromanage, but it's more like trusting. I'm not there yet. I know that. Sometimes I have this like crazy paranoid thought that someone will come and try to snatch my bag, It's okay to protect yourself, but also we don't really need that paranoid thoughts either. It's about the balance, right? But when you are listening to your feelings and intuition, you know when to be careful because you feel it, right? You started to really catch those energy that's around us. which is a good, important survival skill, right? In the morning today, I had this dream that my I was at the hotel or something with a group of people, and when I look at the sky from the window, there was this airplane. Oh, I think it's like I was in the hotel or the airport, and then there was this like interesting shape of airplane, almost looks like an UFO, and like it's like it's trying to balance itself in the air, and it goes like this, it goes like that, and then it's okay for the airplane to tilt, right? But then what I saw was like it's like really struggling to balance, and then as I'm like watching them, it's a beautiful, interesting looking airplane, and it started to go like this, go like that, and then there was a point that it's like, oh my god, this is gonna crash, and this go down, and the airplane disappear for a moment because of all the houses and disappear, but I know that it's gonna crash. And then as soon as I heard the explosion, and I know that impact will come, and I heard that window smashed and broken with the impact, and I'm trying to like, okay, I don't know what's happening, but I need to run away, and I need to grab my suitcase. Everyone's packing their stuff to evacuate, and I couldn't find my suitcase. I had like 3 bags and tried to recollect myself. Okay, let's I have to get my suitcase, I need to go to the bathroom, I need to grab my purse, and then I just couldn't find my suitcase, and I found an empty suitcase, but that was not mine, and then everyone's had their own suitcase, and I couldn't find mine, and I was about to report that my suitcase got stolen, and then that's when I woke up. So I look it up on Google, and it seems like it's a good sign. It's almost as it's a sign that oh my like, and then when I look at it, the suitcase I was looking for is actually the suitcase I don't have anymore. I throw that particular suitcase. It's a nice design. It's like a provocative print, and I loved it. It was unique, and I threw it away. I have a new suitcase, but I had a dream about that old suitcase with the print, and I just realized that it's like, oh, I let go of that pattern. So the dream indicated that I let go of that suitcase, the baggage. Oh, the baggage. So that I can bring more new patterns for myself. Yeah. Ooh. Okay, now I understand. Since our energy is endless, eternal, no physical thing can harm or destroy us. Live in peace and love. Yes, Janine, thank you for that. Yes, it is a constant practice, like daily HG. Yes. Right? Like, it's like, I've seen a lot of videos about there's some water and you keep pulling the water because you can't just empty them, right? Because you can't literally replace the whole body right away. So it's kind of like pulling the good thoughts, and eventually the water clears up. I think it's the same thing with our subconscious. I don't know how many times we need to practice, but we need to practice every time I cut the old pattern. And it's like, even made a post, oop, I did it again. And I just have to, pour with the good thoughts. And you just have to keep doing it. And if we do that in the group, and then remind each other how powerful we are, every time we go into this like low self-worth and low self-esteem, it's like, no, that's not who you are. That's you were told to be, but that's not who you are going to be. Right? So I think there's a lot of like breaking cycle. Love that image of new water displacing old water. Yes, yeah. Just keep pouring with the good thoughts. But it takes a while. That's when we need to be patient. It can't happen. I think a lot of us quit in the middle. and I was going back to the old comfortable patterns, right? That's always happens. So it's that's why it's good to have that good rituals, almost like a ritual ceremony for ourselves every morning. Like this is like speaking meditation time with people who are watching. So thank you guys for watching when you're here. And if I keep doing that, I know that I can pass that point. You know, it's kind of like a breaking point where I can, you know, it's like there's a storm and there's a drip of water. It does nothing happens if it's just like maybe 1 drop, 2 drops. But when you have that drips of water, maybe in 1,000 years, I don't know how long it takes, but you've seen where that water drops, and it can curve the stone and rock. So sometimes I tell myself, even when I have my doubts, I'm just gonna keep doing it. Because as long as I keep doing it, something needs to happen. Yeah. Also challenging when our role models approach life differently. 100%, right? Role models can be our parents. Maybe like early times it was our parents, and I thought those are the things that how we live our life and then look at our parents. And maybe in our experience we see kind of like, you find your favorite teacher. I have my favorite teacher, like a literal junior high school teacher that I had so much respect and so much love for. I just wanted to be like her. But she was single, she has her own stuff, but then she got so much charisma. I wanted to like her. So I was really sad when the teacher had to leave. And then I even wrote her a letter that I wish you were still there. And she wrote me back. And I think one of the things that she said that in her letter was, I got it. I was just trying to think in Japanese and translate it to English. The ever-flowing water will never be dirty. And life is about, life is like water. And ever-flowing water does not get dirty. And learn to flow so that you can find ease. Something like that. If I remember correctly, and maybe I'll post that later. But yeah. I think it's, and then what she said was, you will encounter so many people in your life. My way is not necessarily the best way. Learn to accept and other people's way, and then create your own way. I mean, there's a lot of wisdom in that, and I think everybody knows about this, but it's hit me really hard at the time when I was in junior high school. Basically, she was my homeroom teacher, and she was my mentor of the chorus club. Like I love singing, so I was singing like choir, and of that teacher, and I had so much respect for her charisma. I just wanted to be like her, and then she decided to leave in the middle of my junior high school years. Like, why don't you wait 1 more year so that I can graduate? And she didn't, and I was really sad. And after she left, we had a new teacher, and she became our mentor for our, the music club. And obviously, because my old teacher's presence was so huge, captivated everybody. So a lot of people left. And I was really angry and frustrated that, about the new teacher. It was so different, right? It's always a comparison when things change. And I've been there. I also been the mentor, being compared. And I think the resistance is just human nature. Like, there's nothing personal about it, but there's always a just-in time. And what I was told from that teacher was, ever-flowing water will never get dirty, and learn to accept other people's way. And because my way is not the best way for you, so you learn to take on and learn from other people and find your way and keep flowing like water. Something like that. That was so wise. Yeah. Congratulations. Congrats on releasing old baggage. Yeah, I love that. I didn't think about it until I actually shared this with you guys. I released the old baggage and it was actually stolen. So then even better. Sounds like it's from the what I saw, what I read. It's better than losing the bag, but I thought it got stolen. Finishing 28-day reset today. Amazing! Great job, Lee. Sweet story, Ikue. Yes. How was your experience with 28 days? Some people do it like 4 times or 5 times. Super intense. But it will change you, right? I think I'm at this point that I've done a couple of 28-day reset. Of course, I teach Fashion Universe. But, you know, when you do that something for 4 years or something, it's just like there's part of that is there's part that I still do. There's a part that I have my own thing. And I think it's very natural like that. But also, I've noticed that, okay, where's the line? Where do I allow myself to relax more? Where do I allow myself to stick to the discipline? You know, discipline for myself. And I rarely cook. I love Japanese food, obviously, but I feel like yesterday I cooked rice and I made miso soup, and miso soup grounds me. I notice every time I've done this in the past many times in my journey of living in Canada, away from my home country. Every time I go too far away from, you know, my culture or my essence, miso soup grounds me. Just going back to the old simple miso soup, and I put ahi tuna, spinach, and carrots, and then miso, and it tasted so good. And I just like told myself, I just need to eat miso soup every day. It's all about the balance. But you know, do you have any food that grounds you? You know, maybe like reminds you of your childhood, the good old days. But I think it's, you know, when you have a tug of war inside of you, you have to find a way to ground yourself. And I think literally roots, right? It's good to eat food that have roots. That's ground us. But at the same time, I think it's all about whatever we do, whatever we pick. It's all about finding inner peace at this moment. Inner peace, what it's like to feel peace inside of us. Peace, what it's like to peace. So, the card that I pick, I tap 5 times. Right now it's a step 5. It's about Gemini. We're processing this tug of war between our faith and our faith versus our mind. Catch yourself when our mind is telling us some different story against our heart and trying to seek for immediate relief. This is exactly what happened yesterday to me. My mind was trying to tell me, it's like, okay, I just want to escape. Like, I don't know, something is not flowy. And something is not flowy is not outside. It's about me. It was about me. I had to find my own flow back. And so today is a continuous lesson from yesterday. I found the inner peace at the end of the day. Today is I am integrating that lesson from yesterday. I am asking myself if my mind is cooperating with my heart. Is my mind is supporting my faith? So what I like to choose, the thoughts that are aligned with my faith, my heart. Your miso soup sounds delicious. Yes, it was so good, you know. I don't consider myself a good cook, but every time I'm not inspired and I needing to, you know, cook, and then I think I'll go for miso soup. Anyways, I picked this card. Release self-doubt, let go of fear. Stop playing small and release your self-doubt. There isn't one person who hasn't been held back by the stronghold of self-doubt. Fear finds a way to creep in and has you question your worth, lovability, and your true potential. Sometimes doubt feels so heavy, it stops you from tapping into your inner truth. Deep down, you know the truth of your soul, that you are capable, brilliant, able, courageous, also lovable. Have you been doubting yourself lately? Ready to give up? Go on high? If you pulled this card, it's time to take your foot off the brake and look fear in the face. The only fear is the one you make up in your head, unless there's danger involved. So, yeah, it's crazy when my mind is in fear. It's like trying to take actions and there's a war happening. Your dreams are on the other side of fear. Be the hero of your own story. Have the confidence and courage to keep going. Turn your worry, doubts, and fear into fuel by channeling all your thoughts and feelings toward trusting in yourself. You're always prepared for whatever opportunities lies ahead, and the worst that can happen is you learn a new lesson about yourself. So stop holding yourself back and say bye, Felicia, to fear. I release self-doubt and turn my fear into courage. Fear is teaching us to be more confident, right? So every time you fear, it just, I forget sometimes, but we need to remind ourselves to be more compassionate and confident so that we can conquer that fear that is so visible. That fear is trying to protect us, but there's no protection needed, because every time you're trying to protect yourself, that's when our body, our fascia tightens up, right? So I am learning to use that fear to identify where my blockages are inside of me and my body. And when I tap into the sensation, maybe, or if you have that chronic tension, you know exactly where you like to hold those emotions, right? So when that happens, it's like, thank you for this opportunity to do something about that emotion that I already have inside of my body, like fascia, stores tension. So as I'm moving this fear, and that's why I use the word dance with your emotions, literally maybe put on the music, and it's like identifying where the tightness is, but I'm also not to be caught up with that. It's like, be your body with more compassion, love, and patience. And it's like, okay, thank you, fear. I was holding in here, I didn't know about it much. And I'm going to stop posting more videos about how to release the tension around the fear, around the hips. And because it's something that is coming up for me, and I noticed that how I'm approaching this, I think it's going to benefit a lot of people. So I'll definitely do some of that. Yes. What brands of miso? It's right now I picked this organic. It's organic miso, and I normally go for white miso. There's white miso and red miso. I don't know if people say that in Japanese. I mean English, but this is how we describe it in Japan. So white miso or red miso. I like the white miso normally because it's sweeter. Yes, yeah. Do you guys have any questions? What are you guys gonna do today? Any plans? I think it's gonna be cloudy here in Vancouver. I'm not sure if it's gonna rain. I have a couple of meetings, and I would love to spend more time pampering myself. I was really thinking about that yesterday. Like my partner always says, you think you love yourself, but you are addicted to helping other people. That's kind of true. I'm addicted to helping other people, and you don't pamper yourself. You don't go to spa. You don't go to massage. And here comes my blockages, right? Because it's like in my own journey, I teach people you can heal yourself. You don't need anybody else. But then it's like as soon as I decided that, I stopped getting my nails done. It used to be my time to kind of show that I love myself. And but I'm also, if that tool that if the thing that I used in the past to show that I love myself, this is my pampering time, then but then it's like I don't believe in gel nails anymore. It's like, don't put any chemicals on it, right? So I gotta find a way to, you know, find a way that my heart agrees, like it is good for me, but I'm also pampering myself. And I think that's also another power that I want to tap into. How much I can show in a day that I love myself. Sometimes it's my passion, right? I love teaching. I love showing up for myself, connecting with people. It's so much fun. But if I do that and then let's say I forget to eat, is that kind to myself? Right? So great insight, identifying fear based on body blockages, tension. Yeah, that's why embodiment, right? How about massage with organic oils? I love that. It's like, maybe it's like, I have to like, okay, set the timer at 10 minutes. I'm just gonna massage myself. Yes. Art of Sauna in Barnaby. Is that the name of the place? Okay, I'll look it up, Ella. Or can we go together? I love sauna. I wish I live in a place where there's a sauna. Eating organic food, yes, the self-love. Today, I'll love myself by swimming in the sun and 30 minutes in the sauna, finished with icy shower. That's golden, Jenny. Where do you live? This is South Africa. I'm not sure if somebody said they're from South Africa. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I want to tap into more of that action type based holistic, like I'm still doing in something that pampering myself, but I'm also like helping myself, helping me. Yeah. And I like that. I like that circle of energy, I need to open myself to more possibilities and opportunities. So, because I tend to go like this, I definitely have that tendency, and I'm so committed. And then when I go like that, I don't really see other perspectives. So, yeah, Salt Lake City, Utah. Is it Utah? That's amazing. Yes. I wish it's warmer here. I will learn to appreciate all the weather and moving my energy and appreciating all the tensions that my body show me, so that I can finally release what no longer serves me. And today is about identifying that narrative that our mind keep telling us. Those are stored in our subconscious. And is that true for me? This is how I continue to live my life. And it's not. I want to be free, like free thinker. I want to make wise decisions. I don't want to be swayed by my old story. But good thing, I had a dream. I throw away my old baggage so I can think more freely. And it's a lesson. It's a pouring good thoughts over and over again. And not to take that action as draining, but because somehow we have a programming that, being the same is somehow comfortable, right? But this is exactly the problem. That makes sense to say. So being uncomfortable is that's when we are flowing. Being uncomfortable is a great sign. That's when we are moving and growing. But this is safe. That's a new story for me. Moving is safe for me. When I'm stagnant, that's when I carry a lot of tension, because that's when I feel like I need to stick to this. So just unprogramming and new programming. Do you know if there's a location for the Orange County workshop September 14? If it's not showing on the website, I don't think it's there yet. Yeah, 14. yeah, 14 is a hands-on, right? Yeah, I think it will, hopefully it will come up. I'm trying to make this Orange County big event happening. Like I would love to go, but we'll see. I will find out very soon. But Orange County must be, you guys have nicer weather. That's what I'm looking for. But we'll see. Yeah, thank you guys for being here. It's 10 o'clock, and I will see you tomorrow. But let's share some things that you learned today, and that will be fun. You know, what kind of story you catch yourself, what kind of old story you catch, and the new story, how you were able to overcome. I would love to hear that. Yes. Yeah, safety is for sleep, mend, and repair. I would love to meet there. Yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to make that happen. Maybe for the big event. So thank you, Lee. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jenny, and everyone, Ayla, everyone who watch and watch the recording. Appreciate you. Let's learn and keep on learning, and let's turn that learning as fun instead of thinking like homework or like life lesson. Because I think learning is supposed to be fun. Okay, so thank you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.